All things said remain. These worlds are not yours.
Alright, so let me preface this by saying that this build is fun and fast, it's one button, but if you're gonna do like hard boss fights, Ubers and stuff, your defense layer is gonna be the 6 portals. For mapping it's cool, but it can do all the content, but yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. I'm also not great at min-maxing, so take this with like a little grain of salt. I think it's solid enough of a character, but this is no detail guide. So the main interaction of the build is that we're building our own Shattershard, which triggers the shield shatter when you block, and with Monestary Bell we can count as blocking attack damage from the first target hit with a shield attack. Our shield attack is shield charge, so that's our movement and attack trigger at the same time, which is kind of handy. And then if we pop some worms here, boop, it pops, gets a nice effect, lots of AoE, pretty cool. And to scale the damage, because this thing I don't think can usually crit, we use Streams of the Desiccated and just the regular Marilane's Fallacy and Entropic Devastation damage scaling type of thing. Nothing super special there. And then, because we can't use the flasks anyways, we use the Ascendancy to get the third ring slot. Everything pretty normal here. Another way to scale damage and defenses a little bit is with the Will of Ulnithul. So we get generic fizz damage, and this will apply to our auras. So a Pride, Determination, Vulnerability linked to Blasphemy. This way it counts as an aura without having the regular die insight that you have on a skill tree with the increased effect of non-curse aura from his skills. The Will of Ulnithul is pretty cool in that regard because it adds a lot of damage taken. And then lastly, Flesh and Stone, which is more physical damage from hits as well. Mana is a little bit of a problem with that, so a way I did that was with 80% cost and reservation multiplier slotted into, that's where all my skill gems are slotted into a helmet. The only way to get this is with the Glimpse of Chaos, because they have special implicits, and then if you val them often enough, they can brick into another helmet. This wasn't expensive, it was just like 30 or something, and maybe you can get an even better helmet. I just thought it was kind of handy because it helped me with the spell suppression. But yeah. There's a little bit, there's a couple shenanigans going on in the path of building that I want to show you. Firstly, we use the Light of Meaning and Elegant Hubris together with Impossible Escape, and then 2 Cluster Jewels to get most of the generic fist damage. I think we're somewhere at around 600. Yeah, 662, so this is what helps scale our auras. It's pretty okay. But what is weird is that in PoE the shield shatter trigger rate is only scalable with skill effect duration. Usually shield charge, here we have 7.29 attacks per second. I think there's a 30% malus on it if you do it on the same spot, so it's somewhere around like 5 attacks per second. That would be the trigger rate, but you can't scale that like that. The only way you can do it was with reduced skill effect duration, because the game assumes with 4 seconds that the less duration there is, the more often it can trigger. which has the fun implication that if you put 100% reduced skill effect duration, you have infinite DPS, which is obviously not the case. But if you want to go from 95 to 96, for example, I think we overcap our trigger rate, so I'm being conservative. Yeah, that's the only way you can scale it there. So I'm gonna put the PoE in the video description. Let me know if you shield charge around, and have fun. Bye bye.